The Chicago Bears continue to find brutal ways to lose ball games. I mean, in Matt Eberflus's tenure, he has 4 losses. One of them, Denver, 98% win probability. Lost that game. Detroit, 98.2% win probability. Lost that game. Cleveland, 91% win probability. You lost that game. Those are 3 losses last year in 2023. This loss against Washington Commanders, 96.4% probability to win, and you lose it. 4 losses like that, that can't happen. Your head coach cannot keep his job with 4 losses like that. 3-17 now on the road as well, so Eberflus, man, should have got fired last year. We kept him going this year, and we're seeing what that's doing to this team. You have the talent, but you have losses that are strictly based on coaching. Eberflus is a great defensive mind. Yeah, the defense is playing well. 13 straight games, giving less than 21 points up. Jaden Daniels and that offense struggled against us. This is a top 10 offense in the league. They've been able to run the ball, have success. Daniels, that offense really couldn't do much against us. The only touchdown they had in the game was the Hail Mary. So that told you how much success we had defensively. So Eberflus, he could call up a good game plan defensively. Until it matters the most. The game management for him is terrible. Everywhere you watch sports, every podcast, anybody who talks about sports, they're talking about the Hail Mary. They're talking about how Eberflus set the Bears up for failure. Eberflus is going to tell you he didn't care about that play before the Hail Mary, but that play set up, the Hail Mary big time. A 15-yard gain, a speed route to Terry McLaurin, and we're, playing for the Hail Mary. They have no timeout, so if we would have just kept them in bounds, made a stop, got a sack, even did something, no timeouts, they would have been running to the ball. It would have potentially prevented the Hail Mary. But no. You give up that play. Eberflus said in the press conferences, it doesn't matter. He doesn't care about that play. And then you don't call a timeout. You have your defense. Everybody on the Bears defense that's, in press conferences. Jalen Johnson was on an interview. He said things were rushed. They probably would have benefited from calling a timeout. Shit, Tyreek Stevenson wouldn't have been yapping to the fans if we would have called a timeout. Things would have been more put together, but they weren't. Eberflus set us up for failure on that play. He cared so much about stopping the Hail Mary, he didn't call a timeout. Doesn't make any fucking sense. What also doesn't make sense about that play is Jaden Daniels had 12 seconds to throw the fucking ball. The most time to throw from a quarterback since 2016, since next gen stats era, was 10 seconds. So this dude had all day to throw the ball. And we're rushing 3 guys. Not only are these 3 rushers not guys that are our best pass rushers, we also have TJ Edwards spying the running back and spying Jaden Daniels when he could have, rushed and get after the quarterback so we could, maybe help our secondary. And we had all the short DBs out there as well, too. If you're going to have TJ Edwards out there spying, throw in another DB out there at the very least because he's doing nothing. Jaden Daniels isn't going to run 55 yards. The running back isn't going to catch a little dink and dunk and take it all the way to 6. That's not going to happen. So Eberflus did a terrible job once again game managing this situation. Tyreek Stevenson, him yapping at the fans, he was a problem in this game. And, sometimes he could get a little carried away after plays and all that stuff. I don't think we should bench him. I don't think anything should happen with that. He's a damn good player. He owned up to the mistake. He owned up to the mistake on social media. He owned up to the mistake in press conferences. So he did his part. I think it's just a learning lesson. Personally, I would not bench him. He's a good player. Learn from this. He's going to learn from this. He's going to be better from this. He's, definitely going to not cost his team a chance to win a game again because of this. This is growth for him moving forward. I really don't think bench or suspension move needs to happen for him moving forward. But Eberflus, Waldron, I wish one of those motherfuckers could get benched and suspended for a game because, Eberflus. My thing is the accountability thing for Eberflus. If you're going to make these mistakes, you're going to do all this, at least stand on it. At least be like, look, I made the wrong call on that. That was on me. But no, he's saying, Tyreek Stevenson was the one that should have been guarding Noah Brown. All the comments he's are making in the press conferences whenever he's in front of the media is he's not at fault for this shit. It's somebody else's fault. It's the player's fault. And that doesn't go well with the players. That's why everybody's calling out his coaching. All the players in the media. Any chance I get. Like Jalen Johnson on the interview. Oh, yeah, like, you know, maybe a timeout should have been benefited from us. Like, these players, important players on your team are calling out coaching. So it's not looking good for Eberflus. It's a really tough spot as a Bears fan. Am I like, you know, I want this season to be over. Let's, you know, get Ben Johnson. Let's get another coach in here. But then you're losing sight of what's left in this season. You know, I think this coaching staff definitely needs to be upgraded. We still have a lot of life left in this season. We're 4-3. Got a good opportunity to go 6-3. You know, New England, Arizona's going to be a tough beat. They're the favorite. They're favorited right now. It's a tough spot, but we should be able to beat the Cardinals and we should be able to beat the Patriots before Green Bay. I don't want to say the season's over, but this play, this Hail Mary play, is a very season-defining play. So Eberflus right now, I don't fuck with his ass. I need to see the Bears go 6-3. Then I can get back on the high horse, back on we're going to do something this season. But if we lose to Arizona, I'm going to lose a lot of hope for this season. And my thing with Waldron, too. Waldron, I don't understand how this Bears offense looks that bad for 3 quarters. We couldn't get anything going. We didn't start running the ball until the 4th quarter. And when Swift was getting those carries in the 4th quarter, he had that 56-yard touchdown. Swift was going crazy. That hurdle he had was nice as fuck. Dude, Swift is legit a top running back in the league, top 10. And we just haven't had a running back that could just run away from defenders and have these 50-yard rushing touchdowns, have these big plays. We haven't had a running back like that since Tariq Cohen. So it's exciting with that, but we just abandoned the run. One of those last drives, 3 straight passes, and then get to the goal line, we hand the ball off to Doug Kramer. I'm cool with Doug Kramer being in there at fullback, but handing him the ball, that's something you do when you're up 30. That's something we would do against Carolina or Jacksonville. Not when the offense is not doing shit all game. Not when the offense needs a touchdown. We're not giving the ball to Doug Kramer. We're giving that shit to Roschon Johnson where we know that's 100% effective, 100% accurate. We're getting a touchdown if we get the ball to Roschon in short yardage situations. But giving the ball to Kramer, fumbled immediately, and that just, it erased all the momentum. Caleb Williams drove us down the field, had a nice throw to DJ Moore, put it right on the money. He drove us down for 2 drives in the 4th quarter. He was terrible for 3 quarters, but just how good he is in the 4th quarter, how good he is when the moments matter. That's why we moved on from Justin Fields. He's not fumbling the ball, getting sacked, or he's not throwing an interception. He's not doing the shit Justin Fields would be doing in the 4th quarter. He is elite in the 4th quarter. In the 4th quarter, he is 39 for 60, 402 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. But when it matters most, he's able to drive the Bears down the field, put us in position to score, and the rest is up to the defense. And in this game, it was up to the defense, and Hail Mary, coaching, defense. You know, Eberflus is great as a defensive mind, but in those game management moments, worst coach in the league. Dan Quinn and Eberflus press conference compared the two, what they were saying, it's hilarious. Dan Quinn was like, no, we really needed that play. We needed to make that happen to set up the Hail Mary, because if we don't, we're gassed. And Eberflus is like, that play didn't matter. That play didn't matter. We're playing for the Hail Mary. We're trying to stop for the Hail Mary. We're trying to stop the touchdown. So if Eberflus could be our defensive coordinator, I would 100% take that. But right now we have to deal with him being head coach. And I'm not saying we should fire him right now, mid-season, nothing crazy. Just if things don't go our way, if we're not in the playoffs, I think Eberflus has to be gone. The really only head coach option I would really love, we need an offensive mind in the building. Ben Johnson, A+ hire. That's the name we want to get if we move on from Eberflus. But other than that, I really don't see an offensive mind coming in here and changing anything. I really don't see another good offensive mind that would take us where we need to be. Caleb Williams is obviously the quarterback. We have great pieces on the defense. We're going to be good defensively no matter what. No matter who's our coach. So offensive side of the ball, I think that's what we need. Offensive line needs to improve. But Ben Johnson, what he's doing in Detroit, I mean, Jared Goff threw 3 passing touchdowns. They scored 52 points off Jared Goff only throwing 85 yards. So that offense is crazy. David Montgomery is throwing passing touchdowns. They are just a lot of cool schemes, a lot of cool designs over there. I think adding him to the Bears would be huge. If we don't get Ben Johnson, I would rather stick with Eberflus. I would go Mike Vrabel too, but that's, sticking with the same patterns. We need an offensive mind in. Mike Vrabel would be nice, good culture. He would create a nice culture in Chicago, but we want to change that pattern. We want to bring an offensive mind in that's going to actually be able to take us to the next level. We want a guy in the building the Bears' offense is going to be great no matter what. We don't have to worry about an offensive coordinator that has success and leaves and beats the head coach, because the head coach is the offensive mind. So, that's what I'm thinking right now. Hopefully the Bears can get things going and we can, move to 6-3 and be back where we need to be. But like I said, if we lose to Arizona this week, all hope is lost for me.
But I would want him to get an extension done with, Keenan Allen. I would want him to stay with the Chicago Bears for maybe 2 or 3 more years, because he's coming off his best season last year with the Chargers.